Hi, I'm Dr. Andrea Gigline, and welcome to Books That Matter Revisited. I'm actually going to choose a book today, In Search of Excellence, that in fact, I don't think I ever actually did on the TV show. But I'm going to tell you why. You know that part of the reason I'm doing this is I'm noticing and I'm deeply involved in multi-generational learning and us all learning from each other. And I had an incredibly successful 30-year-old real estate friend say to me recently when I said something about the fact of, oh yeah, whatever he was talking about, I said, oh yeah, In Search of Excellence, Tom Peters, that's exactly what Tom was teaching. And he looked at me and kind of the way my eyes glazed over when I first read Tim Ferriss's book, he looked at me and said, what do you mean? I never heard of that book. And I was flawed. And it was one of those moments in time when I said, wow, there's a whole generation operating from an assumption of the information that we use and that was so impactful that younger generations are completely unaware of, that the messages were just, woven into the culture as they evolved. So this book was the early 1980s. And three of the things that came out of the book that are so impactful to every generation, and revisiting it would be worth your while. Tom was the first person to really make it a big thing about values and purpose. Those were not words that were actually used in business out loud all of the time, in the 80s in particular. It was just not what happened. He also used innovation and entrepreneurship as something that we all had to encourage, nurture, and push forward. So yeah, he was a professor at Stanford. So yeah, they were one of the many early hubs of innovation and entrepreneurship. But it wasn't something that up until that point was really being taught in business. And then one of the other points that I really appreciate, there was a silly little saying in the book, stick to your knitting. Well, in today's vernacular, focus, focus, focus. And all of you who follow my work know that if you do nothing else after you're mindful, or the reason you will be mindful, is so that you can focus in the moment, create what you're creating, and move on from there. Which you'll hear me say a lot today that you wouldn't have heard me say 10, 20 years ago. What comes next doesn't matter. You'll evolve to that when you get there. So, for my older friends, I'd say go revisit that book and see how it has impacted your careers. And for my younger friends, pick up a copy. I'm sure it's really cheap because Lord knows it's really old. And you'll be able to see where some of the things you're experiencing and you have the benefit of really came from. So until next time, happy reading, and please do leave comments because I want to get in communication with you about the stuff I'm talking about. Thank you.